Hey guys, SpiderFlash1273 here, and today, we're continuing our podcast, Paradox thing. You should call that, that's what we should call this, the, Podcast Paradox Special. I'm joined with, Clex.
Hello.
Hello, he's here. And today the first part of this, podcast is over on his channel, so go check that out if you want to see the first part of this. I don't know why anyone would be watching us right now, but hey, whatever.
Okay, right off the bat, you said today. It's actually tonight, because it's nighttime.
Shut up.
Alright.
If you enjoy this video, make sure to web up that like button, and if you want to see more of my content, make sure to click the subscribe button and become one of the Spire Power speakers today. If you don't ever want to miss a video of mine, which I have no idea why you wouldn't want to do that, you can go ahead and click that notification bell and become part of the notification squad or whatever, because that's relevant on YouTube, I guess. And you can go ahead and do all those other things on his channel too, I guess, if you want. But let's just get right on into it. Do you have any paradoxes you want to talk about first?
So, last video, I was talking about cloning yourself an infinite amount of times.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you would have a 100% chance of getting on the rocket, but there's still one of you left, so it's kind of weird. But, bounding off of that, so here's a scenario. You are in a room. So, okay, there's two rooms. And one of you goes to one room, and you get cloned, and the clone goes to the other room, and they have it instantaneously. So you don't see yourself going into the room. You're just in the room, and one of the rooms has a nuclear bomb in them, and they're pretty far away, so they can't affect each other. So that bomb will go off every 3 seconds, and 1 second after the bomb goes off, it'll be repeated. The survivor will be cloned into a new room, and then one of the rooms will have a bomb again. So every time you have a 50% chance of living or dying, and it'll be instant. There's no like half-second realization. It's just instantly gone. You wouldn't even know you're dead. So, you know, from the perspective of a survivor, you know, so he goes in. So, you go into the room, 3 seconds, you're worried, you're like, oh crap, it's like, nothing happens, I survived. It happened again. 3 seconds go by, you survive. And it keeps happening, it's like, what the heck's happening? So from that one survivor's perspective, he would be aware that he's not dying. Which would be interesting, but I mean, because you die instantly, so you would never know that you're dying, so you would never witness death in reality. It's kind of like Schrodinger's cat. It's half dead, half alive, kind of, but no matter what, you would never see yourself die. Because, like, you would go into this mentally insane state of being paranoid, but you'd think you're so lucky that you're dreaming and that nothing's real. Like, it would put you into this weird state. It's like, why am I not dead yet? Because once you're dead, you wouldn't realize it.
Yeah.
That's kind of less of a paradox, but it's just something interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So, maybe you do yours, and I got one more that could possibly be interesting.
How many more do you got?
Well, I could do the my mouth's shut on. I could do the Monty Hall one, but I don't think it's very interesting. I got one more, but you can go first.
Okay, so the paradox I'd like to talk about is a bit of a simpler paradox, and probably one that'll make your head hurt less. If you don't enjoy all this nerdy science talk that we're going on about.
I mean, why would they click on the video if they weren't into that?
Shh. There's some people who just watch my videos because they want to watch me, apparently. It's weird. People from my personal life who are obsessed with like giving me more views for some reason. I hate it.
Yeah.
the paradox that I'd like to talk about is a bit simpler and is more of a logical paradox than anything else. So, say a person walks up to you and says only one thing and nothing else. They are lying.
Right.
This is that's the simplicity of the paradox. Is that if what they say is true, then it also has to be false. But if what they're saying is false, then it also has to be true. It's self-contradicting in a way.
Wait, so does it matter what they say?
They say only one thing, that they are lying, and
they say that they're lying.
They say that they are lying. And
all right.
Nothing else.
Well, yeah, but you can literally just go around and be like, "Hey, this statement's false. Have fun with that. Bye."
I mean, in all honesty, that's literally what we do pretty much every day, right?
Yeah.
But it's just so simple yet so complicated at the same time, because if what they're saying is true and they are lying, then they are lying and it is false. But if it is false, then what they're saying is true, and it just constantly is contradicting itself. It's like someone saying they're vegan while they're wearing and then they after they've just shown you their bare skin rug.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how clocks work, whether it's electronic or whatever. Basically, logic clocks, it just contradicts itself. It turns on, and when the device turns on, it turns off, and it keeps doing that. That's how clocks work in time periods, intervals. So it just keeps turning on and off at every period of time. That's how clocks work. I mean, not all clocks, but a logic clock, some kind of logic gate or whatever.
Got it.
So that was kind of short. Do you want to do another one, and then I can do mine, and then you can end off with yours?
Sure.
Save the best for last.
Okay. So this one is completely unreasonable, which is why I absolutely love it. It is called Birdie I don't know how to pronounce his name. Buridan's donkey, but it's with a different choice word.
Word choice?
What?
Here, just say what it is.
Ass.
What?
Buridan's ass.
Okay, but what's the actual paradox?
So the paradox itself is that say that there's a hungry donkey in a field, surrounded, and it is encased by two equivalent large piles of hay.
Okay.
It's unreasonable. I don't actually, looking back on it, might not be that much of a paradox, but whatever. The donkey somehow is unable to choose which of the piles to eat, and because of its indecision, it starves to death.
That's pretty much my whole life summed up.
That's sad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's just sad.
Okay, here, real quick backstory. Actually, this happened twice in my life, and it almost killed me both times. So one time I was a really little kid. I was in my pool, and I was in a little pony floaty thing. It was really cringy. But I accidentally got, it goes down your waist, and I accidentally went upside down, and I was stuck upside down, because it's a donut. It likes to stay either upside down or right side up. So I went upside down, but I couldn't go back up, because I couldn't decide where to go left or right. So I was like, which way do I go? And I couldn't get back up, and I was like, which way do I swim?
So you nearly drowned to death because your survival instincts were stupid?
Because I couldn't decide where to go left or right. I finally made my way up, and my family was laughing at me, and I'm just like, I almost died.
You're telling me I nearly didn't get to meet my best friend because his survival instincts were overcome by his indecision.
Yes. Anyway.
High schoolers, everybody.
You what?
High schoolers, everybody.
Yeah. New high schoolers, but yeah. And the second time, my brother's friend, he was on a trampoline, and he threw a Nerf gun over the net for some reason. wanting me to catch it. He threw it really threw it really high up over the net and started coming towards me. And I was like, I didn't want to catch it. I was gonna run away. So I started running to the left. I'm like, wait, no, it's probably going this way. So I switched mid-direction to go right, and it hit me in the head. And I had to get stitches. On my head.
Why though?
I don't know. I was like, I'll go right. Actually, I'm gonna change directions. I don't think it's the bunk.
I'm sorry, that is hysterical.
Yeah, I know.
Later to laugh though, right now.
So, is that the rest of the paradox?
That is indeed the paradox. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts?
I would, okay, flip a coin, or go to one hay stack, actually work and do things in real life, and combine the haystacks. Because I can relate to this because I have OCD and I can't decide between two equals.
Why don't you just take equal bites from each thing?
Because which one do you go to first? I had this really annoying twitch thing where it's like my eyes had to go in every corner of my vision, but like I would go left, right, and then go right, left. I'm like, wait a second, I started on the left first time, so I had to go right, left, right, but it still started on the left side, so I had to repeat the whole thing twice backwards, and I kept doing that. And it was like going up to the power of 2, so it was like 30-step process, and it would drive me insane. I'd do it in the car. Just like sitting in the backseat, normal kids sitting in the backseat. I'm just sitting here like having a freaking seizure. Not actually, but like it was bad. I still kind of have it, but it's not bad. I can't watch a movie in peace because I always look at the corners of the screen in a weird pattern.
Yo, I'm like learning entirely new things about you, man.
Yeah, I know.
Well, as the blood continues to rush to my head, continue.
Okay, so that's all I got for that one. Should I go with mine now? Or do you want to say something about yours?
I kind of just want to hear yours before I talk about my last one.
Alright. So, this one's very generic. Time paradox, the question is, what happens if you meet your past self, but your past self never saw you? Like, when you never noticed your future self in that time, and now that you're the future self, you meet your past self. Like, what happens when you meet, basically. And it depends on what kind of time loop you believe would happen or whatnot.
Well, I gotta tell you, bud. Have you ever seen Back to the Future? I'm pretty sure you would cause a rupture in the space-time continuum.
That's one of them. What?
With all of your, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, shenanigans.
Yeah. And, Doctor Who had created these weird time dimension creatures that try to attack you. Wait, by the way, we can.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Like when the secondary character Rose met her past self as a kid, this weird creature respawned, and I don't know. It's kind of Doctor Who's kind of weird. It's interesting but weird. By the way, if you want to draw some, we probably could. I'm out of paper.
Got it.
If you don't have to, but like to make the video more interesting.
I'm in the middle of it. Just a second.
All right. But so my take on it, because well, actually, what's your take on it?
I don't really know.
Like, so what do you think would happen if you met your past self?
If I met my past self, I'd have to say if the space-time continuum didn't rupture, my brain would probably explode from the fact that from everything, but, or I just, I feel like it's hard to think about, really. The idea of you meeting your past self, but your past self not meeting you.
Yeah. But, so, you know, the easy way out is just saying, oh, it creates a new timeline, you know. But
it would.
I don't like that way of thinking.
In all technicalities, every decision we make creates a new timeline according to the multiple worlds theory.
Yeah, but it's a theory.
Everything is a theory in this world, man.
I mean, I guess, but some have a ton of proof.
Some things we think we know, and we know, but like everything that we base all of our research off of are all just theories, really.
I mean,
everything like Einstein and Stephen Hawking, they made great theories, but we don't know for sure if they are actually true based on because we can only comprehend a small portion of the entirety of the universe with our human brains.
I guess there's only one or two things a statement can be, either a theory or false, because, you know...
When it comes to human statements, at least.
Well, I mean, a theory is a theory until you disprove it, so, like, the statement 2 + 2, that's still a theory. It's highly proven to be accurate, but we're still not certain it's true.
I mean, like, all the things that we do, like, with science and math, that is just to keep... that is just so that we can seriously simplify everything so that our human brains can comprehend it without exploding at the speed of light.
Yeah. Whenever you can't comprehend something, just explosion. That solves everything.
I mean, remember Ghostbusters? Don't cross the streams, bud.
Yeah, because, you can't comprehend it. Let's just make some explosions in there. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh crap, I can't comprehend how Back to the Future works. Looks like my head's about to explode.
So, to keep things moving, how I think it would work... Well, okay, so... Now, obviously, how I actually think it would work is time travel is impossible because of all these paradoxes, you know. It creates problems. But, if it was possible, how I believe it would work... So, your past self doesn't see you. So, that means, no matter what happens, he won't see you when you're the future person. So, no matter what you do, you cannot... get yourself seen. It's not like if you do some bad will happen. It's like it just won't happen because it already didn't. So like if you try to,
I mean, you can't. I mean, technically, like you won't. Technically, you can, but it'd be very bad for you.
Well, so I think it would.
From our understandings, we think that we think that it would be impossible for for our past selves to see us because we would remember it, right? But, like, we could change that accidentally and cause something very bad.
Well, that's if there's multiple timelines, but here's what I think. I'll finish up. This will be, I'm going to say all in one. So, brain fart.
You want to point to your drawing?
I don't have a drawing.
Oh. I guess
wait. Here. So... It didn't happen, so it won't. So if let's say you try to jump in front of your past self and make yourself seen, something will happen to make you not happen. It'll seem like the universe is trying to stop you, although it's not. It's actually not, because the universe isn't a sentient being. But it's gonna seem like the universe is after you if you try to do that. So, hey, I'm right here. Look at me. A train's gonna hit you. It's like, oh, look at me. There's gonna be people in the way. You can't see you. Or it's like, hey, look at me, I'm over here. You try to shout her name, and a freaking car is going to hit you at 50 miles per hour. Or a jet at Mach 1 is going to splatter you like a little bug on a windshield.
Yeah.
Or, really unfortunate, it's like, say you're in California, it's like, I'm over here, all of a sudden a freaking earthquake happens, it splits apart. Part of California starts floating in the ocean, and you just sink into an infinite pit of lava.
In my eyes, that's not necessarily the universe going after you. That's the universe trying to balance itself out. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. The same has to be true with time. Good things have to have bad things, and neutral things cannot have anything to change them either way.
I mean, there's not necessarily bad, good, or neutral things. It's all a human perspective. Things happen. It doesn't necessarily have a value. It's just humans that add value.
I mean, on a negative, from our perspective, the good is rivaled by the bad. Every action has its consequence. Every inaction has its action, and so on and so forth.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
It's a way of balancing itself out, so that the tables of time don't flip out and cause the universe to stop rolling.
Yeah. I don't as much see it as it's time to die, or like you're due for something, and if something happened already, it's going to happen. If you're going back in time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Any actions to change that resort to consequences.
Do you have any drawings you want to do for that, or we're just gonna go to the last one? We're at 20 minutes so far.
I'd have to say that if you check out the middle top drawing, when the viewers, I just realized when the viewers look at my drawings, they're gonna seriously think that I'm insane or something. If you look at the middle top drawing, you'll see that I have illustrated or lost my train of thought. Crap. Like you'll see that everything is set in place. Like the future is not set in stone in our eyes, but it is in the quote eyes of the universe. If something needs to happen, it'll happen, and if something doesn't need to happen, then it will most likely come to pass.
Yeah. The universe is pretty strict, but humans just manipulate strict laws, and we can then make strict devices. So
we simplify them so that we can understand them, and we find ways to work around them so that we can function.
I mean, strict laws can be hindering, but if you can manipulate them, you can make things work strictly most of the time. So, like a radio, it works most of the time because of really consistent and strict laws of the universe. What?
Of course it does. Strict laws can't have been manipulated in the past. Remember how in the 1900s there were all those corrupt people in the law enforcement?
Yeah.
Or the Justice Department, law enforcement. Gangsters were really big back in the 1900s, man. Moving on.
So are we going to the final paradox?
Final paradox. Woo! So, say that one day a teacher announces to their class that there will be a surprise test sometime next week.
I've seen the darker version where it involves hanging people, but yeah.
What? Okay, let's disregard that. Just gonna disregard that. The students are freaking out because they're wondering when it possibly could be in the next week. And one student claims that they find the answer that there can't be a surprise test next week, because by the end of one day they will know that it has to be the very next day. Like, say, by the end of Thursday, they would know that the test has to be on Friday, so it wouldn't be a surprise. And the process repeats itself every other day of the week, essentially. And regardless of this, all the students are surprised somehow when the test it comes on Wednesday, which, according to this student's logic, shouldn't be possible, but it still happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the hanging version of that, where a criminal's gonna be hanged sometime next week. See, that logic's flawed because
I realize.
By Thursday, after Thursday, you would know it's on Friday. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen Thursday before that day. So, there's a 50% chance.
Well, yeah.
So it's flawed thinking.
Exactly. If this student's logic was correct, which we know it isn't, then it would be impossible for them to be surprised when the test arrives. But they still are.
Yeah. The thing with most of these paradoxes is either human flaw or trying to work logic in an illogical situation like time travel.
As you'll see written clearly on my drawing, time is relative. Anything can mean everything, and nothing makes sense.
Yep, that's the life. I mean, after this video, we could draw more video. We could listen back to the audio and draw more images to make it more entertaining.
I said it before, and I will say it again. The viewers are gonna think that I am probably insane when they see my drawing.
Takes one to know one. Oh wait, I'm insane. Wow.
Anyway, guys. I don't know what to do here now because I think he left. You still there, man?
Hello, it is me, El Sancho Crutano.
Okay. Yup, he's insane. Okay. So if you guys enjoyed listening to these two nerds talk about paradoxes and other stupid logical nerdy stuff, then make sure to check out some of our other content. His content will most likely seem a bit more insane, while my content just makes me seem even more depressed.
Good combo. I mean, we probably won't cover paradoxes again because we covered a majority of it. But yeah. I mean, you can suggest other ideas.
I mean, yeah. If you want to suggest other things for us to talk about, you can just comment down below, topic points, and then we'll see where we can go off with that.
Or on my channel.
On his channel or on this channel, yes. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to check out more of our content, make sure to click the subscribe buttons. And if you don't want to miss any of our videos, become part of the notification squad by clicking that bell icon. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Be back in a flash.
Goodbye.